Welcome, everyone. In this video, we'll explore the foundations of Integrated Climate and Energy Planning, or ICEP. We'll see why it's crucial for achieving the European Union's climate and energy goals for 2030 and beyond. We'll discover key ICEP components and discuss the challenges and benefits of implementing these plans on the local level. By the end of this session, you'll have a solid grasp of how ICEP compares with other frameworks, such as the National Energy and Climate Plan and Sustainable Energy and Climate Action Plan, the main goals, benefits, and challenges of ICEP, and finally, the importance of stakeholder engagement for local municipalities. Let's dive right in. So, what exactly is Integrated Climate and Energy Planning, or ICEP? Essentially, it's a comprehensive approach that combines climate change mitigation and energy management strategies under one plan. ICEP focuses on reducing emissions, increasing the share of renewable energy, and improving energy efficiency, all while keeping in mind the local, social, and economic context. The goal is to find environmentally friendly, socially acceptable, and cost-effective solutions. EU frameworks and policies. ICEP is just one piece of the larger European energy and climate puzzle. At the national level, each EU member state is required to submit a National Energy and Climate Plan, or NECP, which is a 10-year plan aligned with EU-wide targets. At the local or regional level, two planning tools often appear. The first one is Sustainable Energy and Climate Action Plan, or CCAP, part of the Covenant of Mayors initiative, focusing on municipal efforts to reduce emissions, boost renewables, and adapt to climate impacts. The second one is the Integrated Climate and Energy Plan, or ICEP. This ties in local clean energy projects with broader national targets, providing a structured way for municipalities to contribute directly to the EU's 2030 climate and energy objectives. Both CCAP and ICEP operate at regional levels, but CCAP is primarily voluntary, under the Covenant of Mayors. ICEP is considered mandatory for local level support of the overarching NECP and EU regulations. In the EU's 2030 climate and energy framework, there are some crucial targets. At least 55% cut in greenhouse gas emissions compared to 1990 levels, a 42.5%, aiming for 45% share of renewable energy in the overall energy mix. The Fit for 55 and REPower EU packages introduced in 2022 strengthen these targets. Local plans like ICEP are critical to making sure smaller municipalities align their development strategies and resources with these goals. Goals and importance of ICEP. Why do we need ICEP, especially in smaller communities or remote areas? Local governments can act faster and more decisively. They often face fewer partisan hurdles and can tailor solutions to community needs. ICEPs can attract investment by showing readiness for green and circular decarbonization initiatives. Additionally, ICEPs can drive local business development by creating demand for green products, services, and infrastructure. In short, without local efforts, national and EU-level goals become far harder to achieve. ICEP is the bridge between large-scale directives and on-the-ground action. At its core, an integrated climate and energy plan aims to promote sustainable development that meets the present needs without compromising future generations, climate mitigation by reducing greenhouse gas emissions, energy security through diverse and reliable energy sources, policy integration to align financial incentives, regulations, and funding opportunities across various government tiers, and resilience building by preparing communities for the impacts of climate change, such as extreme weather events or shifting agricultural zones. On a local level, ICEPs directly tackle community engagement, ensuring local citizens and stakeholders actively participate, local renewable energy, installing and managing wind, solar, or other green energy sources, equitable energy access, bridging gaps so everyone can benefit from affordable, clean energy, adaptation measures, implementing flood control, reinforcing infrastructure, and shaping land use to handle the changing climate, and economic development through job creation and new business opportunities tied to the green transition. Key ICEP components. While each ICEP is custom-tailored to a region's characteristics, we typically find these core components. Firstly, sustainable transportation, or e-mobility, which is encouraging walking, cycling, and public transport, and expanding charging infrastructure for electric vehicles. Secondly, energy efficiency of buildings, implementing energy-saving measures like insulation upgrades, and promoting more efficient appliances and construction materials. Thirdly, renewable energy generation, adopting solar, wind, geothermal, and other renewable sources, and integrating these systems into local grids and communities. Fourthly, landscape and planning for carbon absorption, preserving and expanding green spaces, and planting trees and enhancing natural carbon sinks. And finally, waste to energy, converting municipal or agricultural waste into usable energy, and integrating waste management with local energy production systems. Benefits and challenges of implementing ISAP. Despite the complexity, the advantages of implementing ISAP are significant. Firstly, environmental sustainability, lower greenhouse gas emissions, improved air quality, and healthier ecosystems. The second advantage is economic development, new green jobs, technology innovations, and cost savings over time. The third advantage is resilience. Local communities become more prepared for climate impacts, ensuring continued access to energy and essential services. Additionally, implementing ISAPs brings social benefits. Engaging citizens in decision-making can lead to stronger community bonds, improved public health, and a shared vision for the future. And the final advantage is policy and governance innovation. Collaboration across various sectors, public, private, and nonprofit, fosters creative solutions and more efficient resource use. However, implementation isn't always easy. Common hurdles include data availability and quality. Reliable data is vital for setting baselines and measuring progress. There can also be financial constraints. Many municipalities need clear funding avenues and risk mitigation strategies. There might also be issues with coordination and collaboration. Different stakeholders, for example, government agencies, businesses, and civil society, must work together. You can also face regulatory hurdles. Navigating local, national, and EU-level regulations can complicate project timelines. The final challenge is related to sustained engagement. Maintaining momentum over the long term requires consistent outreach, transparency, and updates. Real-life example, Gabrovo, Bulgaria. One illustrative example comes from Gabrovo in Bulgaria, which won the European Green Leaf Award in 2021. Climate change mitigation and adaptation. Gabrovo set a 40% emission reduction target by 2030, focusing on renewables and adaptation measures like expanding green spaces and maintaining river flows. The municipality of Gabrovo is a part of the Net Zero Cities project and has also initiated and created the first energy community in Bulgaria. Energy efficiency and innovation. The municipality of Gabrovo is working on making buildings more efficient, adding electric transportation options, and developing carbon-neutral zones. Waste management. The city invests in better waste separation, composting, and integrating renewables in public buildings. Gabrovo's approach aligns with the UN Sustainable Development Goals and the EU's legislative framework, especially the Covenant of Mayors objectives. Their success shows how smaller cities can leverage ISAP-like planning to boost climate action and energy security. Stakeholder engagement. Stakeholder engagement is more than a buzzword. It's a critical factor that determines whether an ISAP will succeed. Why? First, collective vision. Diverse viewpoints bring clarity and shared objectives, helping address a broad spectrum of challenges. Second, trust and transparency. Open dialogue reduces misconceptions and involves citizens in shaping initiatives that affect them directly. Third, innovative solutions. Community members, local businesses, and other stakeholders often suggest creative, unexpected ideas. Fourth, improved decision-making. Inclusive processes produce more accepted and sustainable outcomes. And fifth, increased accountability. When multiple parties participate, they hold each other accountable, improving project oversight. Municipalities can involve stakeholders in several ways. Public meetings and workshops, as direct engagement fosters richer dialogue. Surveys and questionnaires, to gather broader input quickly and affordably. Focus groups, which help to target specific demographics, for example, local businesses, youth groups, or environmental NGOs, for deeper discussion. Advisory committees, to ensure ongoing representation from key sectors in the planning process. Online platforms and social media, to spread information widely, collect feedback, and keep the community informed. Community partnerships to work with schools, local organizations or businesses to co-host events or share resources, and educational campaigns to empower community members with knowledge to meaningfully participate. Conclusion and key takeaways. Before we wrap up, let's recap the essential points. 1. EU targets and frameworks. The EU's 2030 and 2050 climate targets demand integrated solutions from national and local levels alike. 2. ICEP, a vital instrument that helps small municipalities align with EU priorities, focusing on climate mitigation, renewable energy, energy efficiency, and social equity. 3. Local Go Green project. Demonstrates how transnational cooperation, capacity building, and participatory decision-making can help smaller regions adopt and implement effective ICEPs. 4. Key components. Sustainable transport, energy-efficient buildings, renewable generation, better land use for carbon absorption, and waste-to-energy approaches. 5. Benefits and challenges. While ICEP leads to environmental, economic, and social gains, robust stakeholder engagement, data accuracy, and clear funding mechanisms are essential for success. And 6. Stakeholder engagement. Involving the public, private sector, NGOs, and residents ensures accountability, shared vision, and acceptance. Thank you for joining this overview of integrated climate and energy planning. Remember, real progress starts at the local level. When municipalities commit to well-crafted, inclusive plans, everyone benefits, from cleaner air and new jobs to a healthier planet for future generations. For more information, follow our official channels or get in touch with your local municipality to learn about upcoming workshops and engagement opportunities. Let's build a greener future together.